Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
Welcome to the Enter the Fangirls podcast. I'm Sam.
I'm Lexie, and we're just two girls with a slight obsession of everything pop culture.
Today, I'm slightly nervous about this episode.
Yeah, I'm slightly nervous for many different reasons.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the safer option of the two, though.
Yeah.
So we're doing characters we love that everyone else hates, because we have some very different opinions.
Yes.
Than most.
Even though I can't think of any.
No, like, we had this idea, like, when we first started, we're like, oh my god, this is gonna be such a good idea, because we, like, love so many hated characters, and then we got here and we're like, who do we hate? Like, who do we love?
It's really hard figuring out who you hate and love from while being on Stan Twitter, because I feel like some of our characters are hated amongst, like, the rest of the population, but Stan Twitter loves crazy women.
Yeah, and you have your own little communities there.
Yeah. So, I think we have a decent list. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Watch, we'll do it, and then we'll come up and we'll be like, oh, I should have added them.
Yeah.
If you like this, though, we have characters for characters we hate that everyone loves. So if you want that at some point, we can do that, but that's gonna go over a little bad, but
yeah. Yeah, that one might be.
Yeah, people might not like us very much after that one. But hey, everyone is allowed to have opinions. Let me state that now. My opinion is not wrong just because it's not your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like, I get why people hate some of the characters that we love.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not.
Like, I can recognize the bad things that people do. I don't care.
We love bad characters.
Yes.
That do bad things.
Yes. In reason.
Yes.
And depending on who they are, even if they're unreasonable, I will defend them.
Yes.
Yeah. Which might segue perfectly into my first one.
Yeah.
Alice Smith from Riverdale.
I don't get why people hate her.
No, because she's incredible. She's honestly might be one of the most hated characters in the show, like, of, like, the main cast that isn't just, like, a strict villain that you're supposed to hate.
Yeah. No.
Like, people just don't like her for so many reasons.
I mean, like, in the first season, you were definitely supposed to hate her.
I loved her from episode 1. Like, I watched it, I remember, like, messaging my friend at 3 a.m. I'm like, so I just binged, like, the first 5 episodes, because I started watching when the first 5 episodes were out. So I watched them all, and I messaged my friend, and I'm like, I just binge watched it, and I think my favorite character is Betty's mom. Here we are.
What, 6 seasons later?
It still stands.
Yeah.
I love a good badass bitch character, and I just knew there was something about her. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew she was a bitch, and I knew she was kind of, like, you know, a little, maybe a lot. But I just knew there was, like, always something deeper about her, and I'm just like, that's my baby. I will defend you to the ends of everything.
Yeah. I think it's just also super hard for, like, the parents to be liked in teen shows.
Yeah.
But I've always loved the parents.
I know, me too.
Sometimes the parents are more fascinating than their kids, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I also think she maybe didn't have the best case going for her because of her relationship that she got in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
However, I don't care.
No.
Like, Riverdale's in the first show to do it. People loved it in Gossip Girl. They can love it here. You just don't like them because they have chemistry.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I know Alice has done some questionable things. I know she's not always the greatest or most, like, nice person. But she's my not nice person.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, how can you hate Mage Namick? She's literally sunshine incarnate.
I think it's just also impossible for me to hate hot women.
Yeah, hot blonde women specifically. Tall, hot, blonde, bitchy women.
Yeah.
The brands. TM. The amount of we could literally just do a whole episode on that, just like our favorite bitchy characters.
My favorite. Which
that's episode coming. That's an episode coming. Give it a month.
Oh yeah.
I forgot we were doing that. I'm so excited.
You know.
But yeah, Alice, one of our favorites, will always be one of my favorites. I have stuck by her in every season, even season 3. When most people turned their backs on her, I stuck around.
We got the jeans in season 3, so why?
The jeans. The jeans. No, she's my favorite character of all time. Yeah. I love her. Women for Alice Smith.
Okay. My first character is, I feel like a lot of people haven't seen the show. Sam hasn't seen the show. It's Jenna Soprano from The Sopranos. And so I watched this for the first time like 7 years ago. And I'll admit, I hated Janice. Couldn't stand her. And then I just rewatched it. Well, did a partial rewatch. I refused to watch season 5. And I'm like, Janice isn't that bad. But like, I get why she's hated, because she's very much like Tony's mom, Olivia, and everyone hates her, which they should. That woman is batshit cray. She's off her rocker. May she rest in peace. She died actually while filming the show.
Oh.
So they had to write her death into the show. But Janice is very much like Olivia, but I think Janice gets better. And when she, spoiler alert, she gets with Bobby Baklava. I think that's how you pronounce it. Very Italian last name. And I'm like, I think she just needed to settle down and find a man that like actually would take care of her and boss someone else around that wasn't Tony. But I also want to preface this. Janice, like season 2, later season 2, season 3, when she's running off in Seattle and just comes back to like Jersey for like money. Shit. But yeah. Also another spoiler alert, when Janice kills Richie April. Round of applause, bitch. Yes, get it. Iconic. So I get why she's hated, but I'm just like, I like you. You don't bother.
It's so weird, like watching a show for the first time and then rewatching it years later when you're older and just like seeing how much your opinions have changed. Like I always just find that so interesting. Yeah. Like who you end up loving on a second watch.
Yes, because when I first watched Just for Housewives, I think Lynette was my favorite. And like I didn't hate Brie, but I was just like, this girl's crazy. She's got like, but then I think I fell in love with the stuck-up, bitchy housewife, and that's what.
Fair. Right. So when I first watched Desperate Housewives, I watched season 1, and then I watched the full show a year later. My favorite character was Susan, and my least favorite was Lynette. That's changed so much now.
Honestly, Housewives can change throughout each season.
Yeah. I like Susan in season 1, admittedly. I just recently kind of like rewatched season 1 and like I'm iffy about that statement. But I think she's at her most tolerable in season 1.
Fair.
And Lynette's not that bad. She just kind of is. You just need to warm up to her a bit in season 1.
You just have to be a Lynette to get Lynette. And I am a Lynette. So
it took me a minute to get there. I get it now. Yeah. You know? We could do a whole episode on that. Just like...
No, we're doing a whole Desperate Housewives special. We just have to rewatch.
I meant we can do it. That too. But I meant we could do an episode like where it's just like how our opinions on shows have changed and all that.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be fun.
I'm going to have to do a lot of rewatches, though.
I know. It's only because I'm rewatching Gilmore Girls. Except my opinions don't change. I still hate half the characters that I hated in the beginning. So.
No, I feel like I need to do that with Lost, though. Because I don't remember anything, first of all. And second of all, I feel like a lot.
That's because a million things happen every 2 episodes.
That is very, very true. I mean, I watched like season 3 of Lost in a day. Jenna watched how many seasons in like 4 days?
No, I want to give her a medal because I still don't understand how she does that.
Me either.
Like, I'm actually so incredibly proud of her for that. Like, that is a feat.
My brain is just like fried thinking about it.
It took me as long as it took her to finish the whole show, to finish season 2. I think it took me longer to finish season 2.
Probably.
So just...
Good job, Jenna.
Round of applause.
You go, girl.
My next character is a relatively new one. And we don't know if she's, like, hated.
Yeah.
But it's Alma Philcott from Why Women Kill Season 2. I love her.
She's my girl.
I forget what episode we talked about her in. I know we talked, like, kind of in depth about her at some point, but I can't remember what episode it is, so if I remember, I'll, like, try to link it.
It was the March Madness bracket.
Okay, yeah.
Or was it...
I feel like we talked about her another time, too.
Was it Comfort Characters?
I think so. I think so.
We talk about Alma a lot, apparently.
We love Alma, clearly. But I think she would have been a lot more liked if Lana Parrilla wasn't playing Rita Castillo, because everybody loves Lana Parrilla. I also don't know if I'm saying her name right. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I get why people like Rita, and I know we said we love the bitches, but she's just too much. And, like, Alma is, like, the bitch that I like.
She's, like, the low-key bitch. And I'm just, like...
Yeah. Like, she's, like, the housewife, like, low-key, prim and perfect, but she's got a dark side.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I love Alma.
People just hate her because she killed Rita.
Did Rita deserve it? Kind of. Did Birdie also kind of deserve it? Yes.
Alma probably should be dead. Is she dead?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I remember the finale?
You always forget this. She gets the death penalty. Like, she gets executed.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she goes to get executed, and as she's walking into the building, she's waving to her fans and being like, oh. Because, like, everybody's cheering for her to die. Clearly you need to rewatch the finale.
No, I thought she was going to trial.
No, she's getting executed.
No way.
I'm gonna fact check that, but no, I'm positive. They said she's going in to get, like,
maybe I really blocked that from my memory because I didn't want her to.
Yeah, even on the day of her execution, she basked in the glory of having all eyes on her.
I really blocked that part out. Oh my god.
No, she literally walks through, like, waving to everybody because she's, like, just, like, so proud everybody came to see her.
Wow, I guess I really didn't want her to die, so I really blocked it out of my mind. Oh my god. Well, rest in peace, Alma.
I swear we had the same conversation in a previous episode where I told you she died, and you just always keep blocking it out.
I really do. Oh my god, no.
I don't know. I just feel like they went, like, so in depth with her, and, like, they really made you sympathetic for her. So, like, when, like, I think you either got on the Alma train because you felt sorry for her or you didn't. We were one of the ones who did.
Yeah.
And so I think when you see her, like, slow descent into madness, you're just at that point, you're like, you know what? I get it. Just go off. Like, I think she just kind of snaps, and you're just like, you know what? Yeah, I saw it coming.
I just also think, is their name Allison Tomlin? Yes, right? Tolman. Allison Tolman deserves more credit and should be more.
Yeah.
Because this bitch was so fucking funny.
She's in a horror movie.
What one?
Krampus.
I did see that.
Okay.
She's also in a show.
I don't think she's in, like, a huge part, but.
Is it really scary? You know I don't like scary.
I've never seen it.
Okay, fair.
I watched, like, a commentary track on it.
Alma Philcott. People really should have got on the Alma train. I get why they were on the Rita train.
Yeah, go rewatch it and get on the Alma train.
Yes.
We're the leaders of the fan club.
Really? For real. Okay.
That's our crazy murder lady.
Yes, we love her. So my next character is one that I feel like she's not hated amongst Stan Twitter, but I feel like real people, because we're not real people, but the rest of the world population doesn't like her. Miranda Hobbs, which I want to be fair, I didn't like her either.
Me either.
But I think I just grew up and realized how much I am a Miranda, that I was like, you know what? She's really not that bad.
Because I think when you watch the show, and as someone who just watched the show back in 2020, I like watched it, I'm like, no, give me the Samantha, give me like the Kerry, the juicy love, like triangle, like messy love lives, where Miranda was the only one with a decent head on her shoulder and an actual brain.
Yeah.
Love the rest of them sometimes, but like when you realize that, like when you really get down to it, the reason we don't like Miranda sometimes is because she's just not the most exciting mess-wise, drama-wise.
Yeah. No, she's like the realist, pessimistic one in the friend group, and everyone is very optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm a realist / pessimist. So
but then when you like rewatch the movies and stuff, you're like, no, okay, like she's really funny.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, she isn't serving you the most drama, but like, I think you don't need her to. Like, I think she balances it out really well. Like,
yes.
I think everyone in that friend group just, there's a good balance there.
Yeah.
So I think
she was like the mom friend.
Yeah, except she never wanted to be a mom.
Yeah. Because she was too busy taking care of her friends.
Yeah.
But like, even like everyone else in her friend group was so fashionable and like I feel like lived these lavish lifestyles, and Miranda just like wasn't that.
The most excited I think we ever saw Miranda was when she got TiVo.
Yeah.
And I love that. Because same. Like me on a Friday night.
How did Miranda and Kerry meet again?
I have no idea. Is that said? It's probably said.
I think it's said in the second movie.
I only know how Samantha and Kerry met.
No, I think it's in the opening of the second movie. They talk about how they met.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I once again understand why people don't like her. But like, you are her if you don't like her. Like,
yeah.
I want to admit that you are her.
I don't want to admit that I'm Miranda.
But I am Miranda. No.
I know. Well, no, like, I don't care to admit it, but, like, when you're watching the show, Miranda isn't the one you want to be. You want to be the Samantha. Yeah. The really sexy, like, getting all the guys kind of thing. But, like, at the end of the day, you want to be the Miranda. Like, you need to be the Miranda. Miranda's what we all crave to be.
Yes.
And I think also, like, just as the series goes on, I think once you learn more about her, it's easier to like her.
Yes. Even, well, I feel like a lot of people, no, I feel like she was definitely more hated and just like that. But amongst, like, the real hardcore OG Sex and the City fans, which I 1,000% get. Mm-hmm. But amongst, like, the Stan Twitter population, I feel like she was loved even more.
Yeah. Yeah, Stan Twitter is just a whole different breed of opinions.
Oh my god, yes.
It's great.
It's fabulous. But
I fit in very well there.
Yes. But then you just, like, don't like, if I'm talking to my mom or, like, my friends about shows, and, like, I think my opinion is, like, the normal opinion because everyone on Stan Twitter agrees, and then I go out in the real world and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
yeah.
You don't feel that way? Like, no one likes Alice ever. But, like, we love her.
It's heartbreaking. So the next one I'm going to talk about is, I don't have much to say about him really, but Dylan from Modern Family. I just recently watched this. I don't know why it took me so long. And, like, there was a couple characters I probably could have put on before I finished the show. But after I finish it, I'm just like, no. Like, everybody kind of got to a good spot. But there was one, like, constant that nobody liked throughout the entirety of the show, and it's Dylan. And I don't get it. Because they're always just saying, like, oh, he's always coming back when Haley's with somebody, or anytime Haley's single, he, like, shows up so she can't get any development. And I'm just like, maybe they're just soulmates. Because they're kind of perfect for each other. They kind of share one brain cell. Like, they're both at the same maturity level, even though he's, like, 3 years older than her. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think they really complemented each other, which maybe isn't great, considering I just described them as having one brain cell between the two of them. But I never hated him. Like, I never got upset seeing him come back. In fact, like, I kind of got excited. And I think they were really cute. And they just had, like, that young, like, innocent kind of love that I don't think they ever really let go of, and I'm kind of a sucker for that. And I don't know. I could never hate it. I never hated him. I also never really cared for Andy, and that's, like, everybody's biggest qualm is they want Haley with Andy, and I just didn't care. So I wasn't mad when it was Dylan. I also got it spoiled for me that she ends up with Dylan, so I kind of had to be okay with it, but still.
You spoiled
also
yourself.
It was an accident. Also, how can you hate the man who wrote The Gem in the Moonlight? You can't. It deserved a Grammy. Let's be real. Have you ever seen that scene?
No, I really have to watch Modern Family now.
You do. He writes a song for Haley and sings it for the entire family. He's like, I wrote this about Haley, and it's like, baby, baby, I just wanna do ya underneath the moonlight. And it's so catchy, and everybody in the show, like, starts singing it in the credits. It's so funny. It's great. So I can't hate him because he kills me.
Yeah. I would really have to watch the show now.
I think you'd like it.
I definitely.
It's a quick watch.
Yeah.
I dragged it out, but it's a quick watch.
So my next character, this is, like, from an older show but I'm just now watching it, and I don't really know if she's, like, hated because no one talks about the show anymore because it premiered in the 90s, but she's just one of those characters where I think they set her up for people to hate her, and people just hop on the bandwagon of hating her. But it's Kerry Weaver from ER. And should I hate her? Maybe. But there's just something about her that I love. And Kerry is, like, basically, like, the manager of, like, the ER. I think she's, like, a head attending, if you know any doctor terminology. I don't.
I watch Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, so she's, like, head attending, or whatever that means. So, like, yeah. I think, like, in
that's charge. Like a high rank, yeah.
Yeah. And she wants, like, everything to be done her way, run to the best possible ability. And in an ER, shit like that's not gonna happen. Hate to break it to her.
Yeah.
But, like, outside of work, she seems really fun. And I know, a spoiler alert, that she becomes a lesbian. And, you know, you gotta love the lesbian characters. It's just...
Yeah. They're so few and far between. You need to.
Yeah.
Especially for a 90s show.
Yes. And I just feel like they wanted her to be hated because she was so high up in, like, the ER, and she was a woman at the time, and she felt like she had to prove herself because she was surrounded by men. So I feel like that's why they wanted to make her hated, because women charges was, like, a no-no in the 90s. But she's actually in the show for a while. I don't think she gets in until season 2, and I think she makes it all the way to the end pretty much.
I'm looking her up. I don't know who she is, so I'm just curious. What's her last name?
Kerry Weaver, Weaver. She has a...
Okay. She looks like a Karen, not a Carrie. You know, I could see it.
She's not really Karen.
No, she just has the haircut.
Yes. How many seasons is she in? They all come back for season 15, so you can.
Oh, I don't know then.
She might be all the way from like season 2 to season 15 though. Like she might have not left. But when we watched Machen's episodes, I don't remember
her. Seasons 2 through 6, season 7, season 8, season 9, season 10, season 11, season 12, season 13. I don't know if that's just like guest appearances though.
Oh, my favorite characters are leaving. This is like Melrose Place all over again, where my favorite characters.
It seems like she's here for a while.
Good, she better be because I like her. But yeah, no, like she. Once again, I don't really know if she's hated because like no one tweets about ER because it's not like super popular and like obviously no one now is watching it. But I saw like whole Reddit discussions of why Kerry Weaver is the worst character, and I have to respectfully disagree. There's some other characters that are really fucking shitty. But even like there's a character name. His name's Eric Benson, and he was pretty shitty in the beginning. He's grown on me.
Okay.
But I think it's because he's become a father. And, like, you know, when kids are involved and you start to settle down, get a little bit better.
Fair.
Yeah. So, you know, justice for Kerry. I mean, things might change. I only midway through season 5. And clearly, I think I got a long way to go with her. But once again, she becomes lesbian, so I don't think I can hate her.
Yeah. So, my next one, speaking of doctor shows, mine is from Grey's Anatomy. It's Izzy Stevens. People hate Izzy so much, and I don't get it. She has her moments, I'll admit. But she's like a sweetheart. Like, she's like the sweetest little angel. Her and Denny are one of my all-time favorite ships. Like, I don't care that it's technically morally wrong. I don't care. It's adorable. He's a patient, she's a doctor.
Oh, who really cares about that?
Right? Yeah. And it also leads me to one of the saddest freaking moments in the show. So
I've seen the gifs of it.
It hurts. But like I think the reason okay. I'm gonna spoil it just so I can better explain it to you. Izzy gets a brain tumor in season 4 or 5.
Okay.
And it makes her, so Denny is the patient and he dies in season 2. So when she gets the tumor, she starts seeing him and he's trying to tell her from the afterlife, like, hey, something's wrong. Like, you need to figure out, I get chills. I love it. I love this storyline. But he's trying to tell her, but he can't like tell her. She has to figure it out on her own. So she's seeing it, visions of him, and like she has ghost sex. Like, she has sex with him as a ghost because she sees him, but, like, he's not there. So, like, there's just, like, a lot of weird things that happen there. But I like that storyline because I just think it's interesting. And I love Denny already, so, like, I wasn't mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, so people already didn't really like her for that because they found that so odd, which, yes, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
But the real reason people hate her is because she and Alex got married. And, like, they had, like, a kind of on-again, off-again, will they, won't they relationship for most of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she leaves in season 6, divorces him, like, it's kind of messy. He was so in love with her. Then he gets married to Joe later on in the show, and they, like, have this amazing love story. And the way he's written out is that he leaves Joe in a letter to go back to Izzy. And everybody hates Izzy and blames Izzy for breaking up Alex and Joe. And I'm like, it's not her fault.
Yeah.
He chose to leave his wife for her. I don't like Alex, though. So I defend Izzy in this situation. But also, like, I don't think it's a situation where you can really be mad at her. Like, she told him, so she also had his kids. Because when she had the tumor, she had to get chemo and everything. And then obviously, like, ruins your eggs and everything. So to make the eggs viable, they used his, man stuff. And put with her woman stuff, and they froze it, and then she decided to have the babies years later when she was off the show, and so that's like her whole. And then he leaves Joe, goes back to her, kind of thing, and everybody hates her for it. And I just want to say, I don't hate her. I don't think she ever really did anything super wrong.
Yeah, that doesn't seem anything.
I just gave you literally an entire rundown of Grey's Anatomy. You're so welcome. And to everyone listening. But it was necessary to defend her. But I don't know. I get she broke his heart. And I think that's another reason why people don't like her, but like everyone breaks each other's hearts in this show.
True.
Like, you can't be mad about Izzy and Alex when Meredith and Derek have one of the most tumultuous relationships ever shown, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm an Izzy fan. And I'm unapologetic about it. I love her.
Yeah.
She's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But, like, she's an OG. And she's a good one. And I don't think she necessarily did anything bad. Plus, she brought me Jeffrey Dean Morgan as a series regular, and for that, I can never hate her, because that man is so fine to look at. And that is my mini Izzy Stevens biography. You're welcome.
My next one might get me a lot of hate.
Okay, I'm ready.
So my next one is Corey from the morning show. Yeah. So, like,
end an episode.
Yeah. So, like, season 1, I was really on the Bradley and Corey train. I was like, wow, they really have chemistry. And I was like, Corey's not, let's be real, Corey's not that bad. I think he just has a lot of pressure trying to run one of the most successful morning shows in the world. Fine. But, you know, Corey did some questionable things. Like, this season leaked that Bradley was a lesbian to news outlets, which, you know what, I like to forget. But, you know, when, like, Bradley became a lesbian this season, I, like, really wanted her and Laura to get together. So, like, I was kind of hopped off the Bradley and, like, Corey train. But when they kissed, I got a little excited. But, like, you know, Bradley and Laura all the way.
Yeah, this was before.
Yeah.
Once Juliana comes in, everything just changed.
It really did. It really did. Just Corey tried to keep it calm, cool, and collected this season. He failed, kind of, but it's okay. Yeah, I don't understand, like, the super hate for Corey.
I haven't watched it, so I can't vouch either way.
I mean, the worst one is Steve Carell's character, who obviously is bad, considering he was the one that sexually assaulted all the workers. But I can't remember his name, but the one that he went to his house in Italy, and I know you don't know who I'm talking about, but anyone who has watched the morning show, he is the worst character in that show.
Sounds like it.
What?
Sounds like it.
He was so bad. But yeah, no, Corey, I feel like people are really going to hate Corey next season, because I can't remember when him and Bradley kissed, if it was the second to last episode or the last episode. But I don't think Corey's going to force Bradley to get with him or, like, be together. I just want Bradley to figure herself out.
Fair.
Because also, to be fair, Juliana, Laura really try to force Bradley to come out, which is a no-no as well. But I really like them together. I just think Bradley needs to figure family life, work life, and love life all out right now, and I think she needs to do that alone before she is actually with anyone.
That's fair. I wish I had seen this so I could better contribute, but yeah. We've described it that this wouldn't be really a show for me.
Yeah. I mean, if you just want to watch Bradley and Laura scenes.
I mean, I'm down for that.
Because they're cute. Like I said, I think this is
the cast makes me want to watch it, but, like, the fact that they deal with, like, real world stuff, I'm just like...
No, it's super real world stuff. It was actually, like, really weird in season 1, because a lot of the stuff was going on. I mean, it was obviously all true, but it felt like they recorded these episodes, like, a week, like, before they aired. Because there was a lot of, like, wildfires going on at the time, and, like, the next episode was like about the California wildfires and all these rich people hiring private firefighters to come save them from their houses. And I was like, this is so weird considering what's really going on right now. So
that is weird.
Yeah. They were very current. But yeah, I don't think you'd absolutely love the morning show. I think like the ships and whatever, but
I mean, I love Jennifer Aniston. Who doesn't? So let's just settle in here for a moment. Because mine is kind of a two-parter. Because I feel like they just go hand in hand when you talk about hate for characters. Peyton Sawyer and Lucas Scott. So I've talked about Peyton a lot before, and I've said I started the show because I love Hillary Burton. So I started the show for Peyton. Like, I'm like, oh my god, Peyton sounds so cool. And like I've said in another video, I won't go into depth with it again, but like she is like me as a character. Like I feel like she is kind of me portrayed on screen kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like I just can't dislike her because it's kind of disliking myself, you know? I was not expecting to love Lucas as much as I did, and I also was not expecting him to be so hated. Like, everybody is they love Nathan more than Lucas. I am the opposite. I don't really care all that much for Nathan, admittedly. He is an asshole in the beginning, but he gets better, I will admit.
Okay.
And becomes, like, a better guy. But, like, first impressions, man. Lucas is also played by Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah.
And that man is, like, Audie's royalty. Like, I just can't not like him because he's so cute. And just, I don't know. Everybody always says, like, Peyton is a bad friend to Brooke. I think they were both kind of bad to each other. I think they were a very toxic friendship, and I think they should have just not been friends. Like, I think they should just cut their losses there because they never got along, really. But also, like, I feel like you can't say Peyton's the bad friend because Brooke did bad things, too. And I'm sick of Peyton being the only one who gets called out for anything she does. And then everybody also says Lucas is a bad person because he's a womanizer. I'm like, dude, he's a man. What do you expect? And I'm like, everybody in this show kind of sucks at times. But I will stick up for Lucas and Peyton. They also have the best chemistry, and no, I do not care. I will not hear anything of it. They were soulmates from episode 1. The looks they gave each other, they got a montage sequence. That's how you know it's soulmates.
That is true.
I rest my case. Leighton forever. They are my babies. And I will stick up for them. I want to rewatch just for them. And by rewatch, I mean watch the first 4 seasons because I never finished the show.
We're not.
I made it to season 6, but I knew I was losing them, so I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. I can't lose them. But yeah, you can't hate them. They're everything to me, and I could write an essay. I will write an essay if you want.
That's another episode we can do. Ships we love and everyone else hates.
Oh my god, yes.
That'd be a long one.
Yes. Everybody hates my ships. So sad.
Yes.
You know it's bad when you go to look up fan fiction for a couple and there's nothing. Like, that's how you know you're in the minority there.
Yeah, that's actually pretty bad.
It's bad. That's also what happens when you ship crack, like, ships.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're at the 57 mark. I believe about 12-ish minutes of that is just us talking about anything else.
Okay, that's not too bad. I think last week was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we're okay, maybe? Unless you want to add more?
I don't think I have any more.
I have more.
You can go for it then.
Okay.
Because I can talk about Cameron. For Modern Family.
Fair. Okay. So my last one is like another one of those characters where like I don't know if people actually hate him or not. No, people probably do hate him. Okay, my last one is Carl Meyer from Desperate Housewives.
Oh, I forgot you put him.
Cheating on Susan? Wrong. Wrong. It's fine. Normally I'll root for the affair, but you know what?
This was wrong.
Carl was a shitty person.
Yeah.
You know what was fine? Bree cheating on Orson with Carl.
Yeah, cheating on Susan, wrong. Cheating with Bree? Right.
So I'm a Bree and Carl shipper. I wish
put me on that train.
They're so cute. I'm like, they were somehow so wrong for each other, but yet so perfect.
It's like the perfect case of opposites attract.
No, like for real. I love that one scene where Carl kisses her and she's like, my knees haven't buckled yet. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Honey,
this is the kind that we're going for. But I love them. They were, like I said, they were perfect for each other. And I think Bree just needed that little. Bree was like really Carl was really the turning point for Bree.
Yeah.
Because then from Carl, she went to Keith. And after Keith, she became a hoe? Or is it the hoe phase and then Keith?
No, it's Keith and then the hoe phase. But I can't remember what makes the hoe phase happen.
I think it's Keith leaving her to be a father because
she starts drinking again. That's what triggers it, really. But I can't remember what makes her start drinking again.
No, I think it's because she kept the secret that Keith had a son, and then she eventually told him, and then Keith left.
I'm just remembering the scene where she goes to the church. I think it's like season 8 or something like that. I think she's wearing purple, and like she literally gets kicked out of church because she's hammered.
Stop. Iconic.
Season 7 and 8 Brie is just a whole different breed.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Too good.
But back to Carl.
Yes.
To be honest, I think I only liked Carl when he was with Bree.
Yeah. Because I think when you first, like, realize that Bree is going to get Carl as her divorce, like, the whole reason she gets Carl as her divorce lawyer is because he's an asshole and he's a shark and he's going to get her every single thing that she wants in that divorce. So, like, you're like, oh, God, this is not going to go well. And then they start flirting and you're like, no. Don't do this. And then you're like, wait.
Keep going.
Yeah, maybe keep going. I don't even, like, when I first, like, watched the show, I'm just like, oh, like, whatever. Like, it happened, whatever. And then I rewatched it and you're like, no. Like, this time, like watch. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was just, like, so hot. And just a little
too much chemistry. Like, it should have been illegal.
Yeah.
They had no right.
No. I don't have much more to say about Carl Meyer besides the fact that because also
can we talk about the dream sequence after he dies? Bree in the white dress and he's carrying her up the stairs.
Where's across, goddamn. So good. So good.
Chemistry was just like bursting off the screen.
I know. And then it was kind of upsetting when he cheated on her in the dream, but you know what? It was just a dream.
What do you mean that doesn't happen? I turned it off before then.
Fair.
It doesn't happen.
But like it's not real. It's just a dream. So.
Exactly. He would never.
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 But like this is like another one where is Carl and Bree actually hated? This is more of just like a ship that I love that I think everyone else. You got your Leighton one, and then here's my Bree.
Fair. Okay, yeah. It has its lovers, but it has its haters.
Yes. Because I see the Bree and Carl nice fan cams.
Mm-hmm.
But also, this is, once again, I probably could have added this as Bree as one of my characters I love and everyone else hates. But, like,
I think she's more loved than...
Really? I feel like if I were to ask my mom doesn't like her.
My mom doesn't like her either.
Yes, so she is just loved among Stan Twitter.
Okay, fair. Mom doesn't, I don't think, like anybody in that show, though. My mom doesn't have favorite characters, which makes it very difficult.
I think my mom liked Gabby.
I feel like if my mom had to pick one, she'd probably like Gabby or Susan. My dad likes Susan. And Gabby.
But Bree is crazy, I will admit it. And like I said, when I
She's allowed to be.
No, I think she was my least favorite. Not my least favorite, but I was like, I don't get the hype. But then my rewatch, I was like, no, I love crazy women. I think that's it.
As we should. They're the most interesting.
Yes. Hot, crazy housewives.
And honestly, maybe that is the theme of this episode. Just women who kind of go a little nutty sometimes, but we love them.
I love women who do crazy things.
I love bad ladies who are pretty while they do the bad things they do.
Basically.
But that's all of them that we can think of.
Yeah.
We narrowed it down. Not by much.
No. I'm sure there's about 1,000 other characters.
Yeah, I'll be like sleeping tonight. I'll like wake up in a cold sweat and be like, I forgot about this one.
Yes, absolutely.
I surprisingly have a lot for characters I hate that everyone loves.
Yeah, same.
So we'll have to definitely do that episode at some point. Don't know when it's gonna be because we have the next like month and a bit planned.
Yeah, I'm proud of us.
But if you guys want that episode, let us know because we will do it.
Yeah. Once again, we always have our Google Doc of suggestions.
Yes, always.
You.
I've been putting the link in the description so you can check those out. And while you're here, I'm going to shamelessly self-promo our scavenger hunt from last episode. That is also linked in the bio, and we are currently tweeting it every single day with movie recommendations. So check that out. Play along with us. You don't have to do every single day. But if there's a prompt that sounds fun, if you're looking for some movies, it's been a lot of fun.
It has been.
Like, I found some real gems, and I'm excited to talk about them when we get there. I'll watch something, and I'll just immediately go to you and be like, you add this to your watch list. Like, you need to watch this.
I don't think I've had a good gem yet.
I have. I want to rewatch
it. No. I know. No, I guess I had a few.
Yeah, I think you did.
I'm just still not over Belfast.
As you should be. That's your spoiler for the episode. That's one of Lexie's movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Next week we are doing movies, scenes, anything that makes us cry. Basically, just a good cry episode.
There's two that I can think of right off the bat.
I cry at everything.
I'm not a crier, so.
Neither am I unless it's a TV show or movie. Like, if I need to cry, there is one movie I know I can put on and get the tears a-flowing.
You've told me this one.
I have. It gets me every damn time.
You know the one that I'm thinking of for myself. I think I've spoken about it before.
You can tell me after we finish this episode.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Enter the Fangirls. You can keep up with us on social media. Our Twitter is Enter Fangirls, and our YouTube and Instagram are Enter the Fangirls.
Make sure to follow us wherever you listen to your podcast. We cannot wait for you to join us on our next episode. Once again, I'm Lexie.
I'm Sam, and this has been Enter the Fangirls.